Welcome to Overwatch. Welcome to another episode of Probing the Many. Today, we are talking about Canada versus the US. Probably the most hyped up matchup, probably in the entire World Cup, to be honest with you. Like, as much as Korea and Finland were exciting to play, exciting to watch, people were pretty clear on, like, okay, Korea's probably the favourite. But Canada versus UA was pegged as being relatively even between both these teams. Both these teams made up of, like, Overwatch League caliber talent at the very least, if not completely from Overwatch League talent. So it's like you're expecting good things out of these teams. Also, a lot of like popular figures around these two teams as well, with XQC, Jane, Aero, all sort of being involved in it as well. So naturally, there's a lot going on here. So yeah, there's like, well, let's jump in and see how this one goes. I mean, we're starting out in here. Hey, Oblivion
Ready for
DVDR.
this Canada review.
Thank you for the 100 bits of Rooney as well. Very much appreciated. Wait for the gates to open, but it looks pretty set in stone. We have Goats against what's been called now the Canada Comp. And I want to talk about this Canada Comp as they run out. Okay? So what is the Canada Comp? Okay, and chat, the reason why I've left chat on screen as well is because I want chat to talk about this with me. Okay, so Canada Comp. So the Canada Comp is the Can Comp, as we're going to call it affectionately. You ditch the Zarya, so no Zarya is allowed, although Muma's actually running on the Winston. Sinatra, surprisingly, is on the Reinhardt. This is, Reinforce mentioned this, and I kind of agree. It's kind of a cool adaptation. I'm sorry, you don't ditch the Zarya. I'm telling fibs. I'm telling lies. You've ditched the Brig for Showdown on the Sombra. And so the advantage that you get from the Sombra, like let's think about what the Sombra gives you. Well, you have like a powerful EMP. You have less healing. Overall, sure, she can hack health packs, but really, realistically, how much is that going to impact things? Probably not so much. But you have hack. Now, what the hack gives you is basically, if you think about how Ghost Comp works, it sort of smashes into something and kills it super quick. Hack will enable you to be able to do that more. It's just as much as like Brig's stun will. Hack enables you to do that. One of the nice little benefits as well is that you can, like if you think about common counters to goats, well, you're looking at stuff like Pharah, and you're looking at stuff like Doomfist. Well, you know, Sombra's kind of iffy against the Pharah, but if you land the hack, then it will work. She's pretty freaking good playing defensively against the Doomfist. So it does nullify like a lot of the standard counters to the sort of goat comp overall. But it does have its drawbacks. You lose the stun. You lose the armor. And in my mind, the biggest thing that you lose as well is the instant heal. Right? A lot of the power of goats is you figure out what they're trying to focus. They're trying to like burn a target down as quickly as possible. And they're trying to like overwhelm something. You throw the Brig health pack on it and it is fine. It is 100% fine. So ditching the Brig leaves everybody else a little bit more vulnerable. So this comp, like played straight into regular goats, could very realistically lose the first engagement unless the hack is on something really pivotal. And like even D.Va isn't that pivotal to hack in this case, because defense matrix in goats on goats isn't that big of a deal. Like it's good for eating up Moira orbs, but the rest of it, like it will stop an enemy D.Va's damage and rockets, and that's kind of it. So it's not like the biggest deal in the world. USA running a very interesting adaptation, the DPS player Sinatra being on the Reinhardt, and they're playing a Winston instead. This is like a really durable, and especially like the Ana, like they have some good win conditions here. They have a nice stun combo, and they have the sort of nano Winston as well to work with and play around with. They also have like a lot of tankiness, a lot of durability. They ditch the Graviton Surge, but instead they have a slightly more survivable comp, and honestly with Primal Rage being as good as it is, and very good against goats in general, it can actually be pretty pivotal here. So the backline has to be very, very careful about Muma, because Muma can basically now play a much more aggressive style. Sinatra is going to be playing a pretty aggressive style as well. Muma's hacked, and this is where you're like, this is where this Canada Goats comp, this Canada comp has to really work efficiently, because they have to capitalize on this. Like, there needs to be like a speed boost or something going on to this, but instead USA are just muscling them out. Sinatra actually manages to connect with a charge, because Sinatra's going to be playing pretty aggressively, and they instead focus on Sinatra, but with the Brig healing, with the Ana healing, with the Lucio healing, he's going to be fine. He is just fine with that 2,000 hit point barrier. So it's a very durable comp. It's very, very difficult to get rid of, and like that first hack that Showdown landed, kind of irrelevant. Did Banny mess up here? I don't think so. Like, Sinatra just went for a... You know, you want to talk about stuff that Brigitte stops? That. The real question is, where was XQC's charge? There. XQC whiffed his charge. And so Sinatra gets one for free. There you go. There's the Nano Winston. Even just commits an Earth Shatter to this as well. It's going to push them all the way back to spawn. Let's force the Coalescence, and honestly, not much has been gained as well. Oh, no, Moon was fine. He's got Primal Rage. They're committing a lot just to get out of spawn here. Sinatra has lost his stuff, though, and they're actually on the back foot. This is a lot being used by Canada. So this is where you like get worried about Canada's comms, and this has sort of always been a concern, especially after like the show match where they let us listen to the comms. Let me. Oh no, I don't know what I'm moving there. Oh, I know what I'm moving there. This chat box. Oh, I'm fine leaving chat on. I think chat can stay for this. You know, yeah, Canada's comms are very, very like they are anarchy. Like XQC is a really loud person. They have a lot of native English speakers, which results in a lot of people being very, very loud. And so it's like they commit 2 big ultimates in one. Especially when you're playing with EMP. 3 ultimates is pretty huge. And like they're going to continue stalling us. Like Space is stalling, 36%. Rock is probably going to be okay here because it's a low charge area. And there we go. And it's like, what did you really gain there? I mean, they still have advantage. To their credit, the US like use a lot, but Sinatra is going to build up his ultimate really quickly. So they're going to EMP on engagement. But the question I have is like, what wins in this fight after that? Beautiful push. Sinatra has just mobbed XQC. So again, the Brig will stop stuff like this, where like XQC is playing quite far forward. And Canada managed to exploit that. Sinatra is just being kept alive by this Ana more than anything. The hack's okay, but Sinatra's just muscled his way in. Like nothing is stopping Sinatra. He's just getting away with murder here. We've got another Nano Monkey. It's all they need. And with this team comp, Nano Boost is going to build so fast. They're going to have nanos on nanos on nanos. So, looks like Canada want to engage using... Just engaging straight up with Sound Barrier. Banny dies with the Sound Barrier. Oh dear. Well. I think he got stunned. You can hear like the whoa. So actually, yeah, Hydration stunned him. There's EMP. What? I don't think anyone gives a shit about the EMP here. You know, it's like, okay, you've EMP'd them. If you don't get the Lucio and the Ana's still pumping healing into people, they're gonna be fine. You need agilities on like 9 billion charge, but with Ryan Winston as well blocking you, it's gonna be tough. That's sort of the combo that they need. Sinatra's still alive. Again, this is that advantage that I was talking about. What does the Brig give you? Well, it gives you that instantaneous heal. As a result, sure, you've hacked him, you've stunned him, you've grabbed him, charged him, and he's still alive. He is still alive. As you see, he got dropped from the World Cup, but he's dropped from Overwatch League, but he's in the World Cup now. No, XQC got dropped by Dallas Fuel, not by the World Cup, not by the Overwatch League. He got suspensions, but he got dropped by Dallas. He was never banned from the Overwatch League fully. He could still technically play. It's just Dallas got sort of fed up of... Dallas's reasoning was like... They basically... They scrimmed a shitload with XQC, and then like he got banned. And then it happened again, and then it happened again, and it kept happening. And so it was just like, he was just too much of a liability. Like, there's no point scrimming with XQC just to find out, oh, he's just said something stupid on his stream, and then he's gone. You know, the nightmare situation for Canada is XQC says something stupid just before BlizzCon, and then it's gone. You know, they've lost their main tank and have to bring this up if they have one, if that's even allowed. Okay. Canada are running Pharmacy Sombra. So this is like, you know, instead of the Tracer, you just run the Sombra. USA running Sinatra on the Tracer. I honestly like USA's comp a lot here. Again, it's just like the hack and dive, and you just kind of ignore the Pharmacy. It's a nice hack. But Hydration's actually just taken the health pack here. Like, this is one of those instances where I think taking this health pack is a really big deal. Because this little room, like I guess you could call this dildo for this map, this room here is... Pharah can't spam you. The doorways are pretty small. So actually going this route and taking this health pack is pretty clever. I like it. Makes it difficult for agilities to sort of spam in there. Moonwood's playing nice and aggressive. Can afford to do so, and there we go. And yeah, you disregard the Pharah and you just kill everyone. Hack someone, kill people. Do you think the overulting was due to bad communication? Yes. So Sure 4 on the McCree. Why no Brig? Agility's Brig? There we go. Had to be. Mercy Zen. That's interesting. I think this Zenyatta is just going to get ruined. Hydration. Oh, I remember this. Hydration. Yeah, this is just greed. Like, you can't... Decloaking has like a second on it, right? It takes a little bit of time, and it plays a voice clip, and so like this decloak, you've got 2 stuns literally in range. That's greedy. That's not going to work. So this is Canada with a huge opportunity. Shieldfall is still kind of scared. Like, he's playing very defensively because he knows that his backline's going to get dove if he's not careful. Agility's managed to zone out the Tracer. This is giving Shieldfall space. So we'll bounce back with the Coalescence. This is going to buy time like crazy. Diva Bomb, buying time. Gets XQC, that's huge. Crimzo's in trouble, so Bunny has to fall back. No gets demeched as a result. The Tracer is sort of spiraling out of control here. Where was Agilities? Agilities is all the way over here. It's hard to make out, but he's all the way over here. So Sinatra's just got 3 shots on Crimzo. Shieldfall's trying to protect him, but the McCree can't simultaneously deal damage to the enemy tanks and to protect the supports. And so now both supports are tied up looking after each other. They're doing it, but the front line's melted because there's no healing on it. You see the tweet that he didn't have Sims interact keybound and he had to bind it on stage? Doesn't surprise me. This is the USA making a statement. I am fully in favor of this. Like, the USA, one series, they like really went memey and really sort of went over the top with it, but they mostly just play like a very serious, like, we are just going to win the series and then clown a little. Canada just felt like they were clowning non-stop, and I kind of liked how dominant the US looked. This is sort of the danger. Like, the moment they cross this threshold, they instantaneously heal to full and you can't do damage to them. So no one's actually dying here. Muma gets a little bit greedy. Dead-eyed, killed. Okay, Canada can finally spring back. Like, the US, I think, wanted to make a statement and just a little bit over the top there. Should still be okay. Coalescence, pretty good ultimate. Moth almost killed himself there twice. If he just stayed in the Coalescence, I think he'd be fine, but he's just cornered himself away from it. XQC playing at 3 million sensitivity. They're just going to contest them 90%, I think. Hydration is just going to build an EMP, and that's going to probably be the end of that. They're going to EMP Crimzo and win. If they even need to. Hydration is just killing everyone in the back line. This man won the Sniper Showdown, as a reminder. The fact that Hydration just literally runs in here. Like, there is so much pressure on this backline. And this is sort of the thing with McCree, right? You think that, oh, McCree Brig is going to be great for protecting backline, but this is why Zenyatta has dropped out of play, because he's just so vulnerable to this sort of stuff where you just run at him. So yeah. 99%, USA probably fine with that. Canada have to protect the shit out of Crimzo, and yeah, so Hydration's just trying to force it as much as he can. Like, he wants to scare him out of it. There is enough time between decloak and EMP. Yeah. This is like blatant bait, basically. Just right as he's decloaking as well, Sure Force is already on it. EMP gets cancelled and eaten, and that's a big deal. So hydration not looking the strongest on the Sombra. The thing that kind of annoys me with this is like you don't need to be this close. Like getting the Mercy, okay, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. Getting the McCree is freaking useless. So like being this close to people where they can just spot you out as well, where you will be detected if they get too close to you, just seems useless. Like being in the back corner seems like it'll be stronger. Crimzo's reaction time is crazy. There is enough time to, like, especially if she decloaks right behind you, you will hear the voice line and you'll be able to just. The only scary part with that is that the Sombra could just decloak and then you'll ult and then she just waits. But yeah, they spot the. And honestly, if Sombra EMPs and they trance it, it's not the end of the world as well. Like you just pull off on the dive, and Sombra can generally just get out. Almost gets it. Agility's doing a good job of zoning the trace here, but they're flipping the point. They flip the point. This is bad for Canada. Canada can't sort of let this just happen. Sure managed to get value on movement at least. Coalescence getting so much work done here. It really, like the Moira feels like she's making a huge difference. I don't like Canada's support line of the Mercies and like USA basically got that for free, and they have another EMP, so they can set up this play. The Brig is going to cause problems, but EMP Diva Bomb should be pretty powerful if they can land it properly, so they know where Crimzo is. He's waiting for his team. I like the fact that they dive first this time. So yeah, it's on again. It's okay. It's honestly okay. This is a lot better out of the US, so they already like corrected the mistake from before, right? Muma comes in, and that's going to screen Sure Four. Sure Four ends up on low ground. Hydration's now free to do what he wants. Decloaked, go to the EMP, Crimzo ults, but the combo is more actually this combo, the Diva Sombra combo, because people don't have movement abilities, so Agilities can't do anything. Agilities dies. You still get one, and you get a big ultimate out of it. USA just waits, then regroups, goes in for the next fight. It would be nice if this hydration can, like, if hydration comes in here and gets a like a hack on note or something, that would be huge. Where is his recall? Quite far back out, and he's. I guess it's because he's on half hit points. No, he's not on half hit. Why are you reclaiming that health pack? This drives me insane, and this is something that I've been trying to like curb out of my own Sombra play. When is this health pack going to? You're never going to need it. You're never going to need it. Hacked. Right? What? Even if you just leave the translocator there and run back in, it will be back by the time you translocate to it. There is no benefit to spending the 2 seconds hacking this fucking health pack. Because imagine if Sombra was here now, oh, with a hack on this Diva. This Diva will be dead. Hydration is back and his hack's on cooldown. It drives me crazy. It's a minor thing, but it's like it's an old habit from playing Sombra previously where it's like, oh, well, I'll hack the health pack so I get more ultimate charge. Doesn't work anymore. Stop hacking health packs. If you don't need it by the time that you're going to translocate to it, it's not worth it half the time. Is Gun about to be using Brig in a dive? No. Especially on a map this sort of close. Like, I think this is less of a big deal than you would make out of it. I honestly think like using that hack on the health pack instead of using it on the Diva is a bigger deal than you would think. And it's such a minor thing, but not having that hack when you come back into the fight to just take Diva out the fight, then the Diva dies, and she can't cycle ults either if she had it. So this is the London Spitfire comp. It's a very brawly comp. So this is like a variation of Rushdown, and I like this comp, actually. It's like, you take high ground, and then you see what they're running, and then you just, like, run at them. And you can see, like, the burst damage from soldiers, and archery just goes down straight away because the rocket lands. Like, Space really has to catch that rocket, but if you don't see this team comp coming, it's impossible to kind of know. I like the patience from Canada. But yeah, like, they know, like, Moomin knows that this jump is just going to go badly. With a map as open as this one, it's not like you can just run goats into it. So Hydration picks up the Pharah. Hydration's Pharah is superb. It is actually really, really good. Hey, Sharpin.
For my flawless service.
Sorry to interrupt.
I do like them.
But Amazon Prime gave me some of these shiny things and I heard you like them.
I do like them. They're pretty nice. I actually kind of like the brig here. It will help push out the Reaper and control like XQC. I like the fact that they just like how do they even spot this? I think Hydration just like spamming corners just to check and just gets like, oh, look at this ult charge jump. 20, 40, just 2 rockets and he's halfway there. Jesus, everyone is low. You know, if there's one thing I would change about Canada's comp, it's ditch the Zen and put a Moira in. I don't rate the Zen here. USA even flip the point. Canada don't stall it out. They don't succeed in doing that. Feels like Canada should have pulled back. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of unfortunate that this happened, but Hydration just gets like 2 huge hits, and then yeah, they just speed boost straight in. You can see like everybody is on no hit points. Shield4's on no hit points. Shield4 can't do anything here. Does get a brig health pack, I think, and then just gets bounced down. Like the brig health pack doesn't even turn into any armor, which you really kind of want. You say XQC's ult was a mistake? No, I would say XQC's positioning was a mistake. I think using Primal Rage here is A-okay, but jumping off point is not. Like, everyone on Canada's team needs to die on point, basically. They need to die stalling the point. So, them flipping the point is a big deal. It warmed my heart to see Hydration back on Pharah. Like, before Overwatch League began, Hydration's Pharah was like, I think he played for, was it CLG at the time? Whoever he was playing for was like, he was the fucking carry on the Pharah. It was insanely good. Something about American Pharahs. America like the Rocket Queen. This, I mean, yeah, Canada over Diva, this is kind of ballsy. He just sees the opportunity and just deletes Banny. Honestly, worth it. Banny has ult. My question is, where the fuck is Note? There he is. It just, again, it feels like Canada's initiate was just a little bit sort of higgledy-piggledy. It wasn't the single smooth motion you need. Between Shield4 and Crimzo, they can do a lot of damage here at least. They want that D-mech. They want it for the stall. And yeah, now they're just going to back off. Agility's gone fire of his own. I let blank shit up. Yeah, I can see that. I think it's also Americans had a lot of Quake players, maybe. Sort of a natural shift. And also Soldier players, actually, thinking about it. Like Seagull, I think, was a Soldier player, wasn't he? So again, just really scattered. Like, it's like Canada don't know where they want to be. So they're not transitioning smoothly. And USA, like, that could have either landed on Banny or on Shield4, but either way, neither of them could do anything. There's just no clear direction of where they need to be. There we go.
Making a change here late over to Sombra, but Muma in space every opportunity they had when he was playing.
And now Showfall's on Sombra. This is desperation, if I've ever seen it. Just maybe to get the rollout to touch, I guess, but yeah. This is something I've been noticing throughout, and like throughout this entire stage, the US was just really clean in how they play. Like, whoever's doing shot calling on the US, they stick to it and they roll with it superbly. Like, things just happen on the US team. There's no like dilly-dallying, there's no waiting, there's no nothing. It just goes. You know, so short. My mum isn't short. Actually, yeah, she's about average. I think she's about 5'8". I'm a little bit taller than her. Okay. This is an interesting lineup. So the question I have is, like, do Canada just go Pharah into this? Like, Pharah Hanzo, Pharah Widow, both of them could work here. Banny's not going to stay on the Widow. They've been running the Sombra a lot. Sombra can work here as well, of course. So Genji, Sombra, will they run Ana or Mercy? They run Mercy. Zen Mercy, still sticking on the Zen Mercy. Don't like it. Do not like it. I think definitely if you're going to run Genji, you might as well run the Ana. Like, I don't see the fascination with Zen Mercy still. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. So, again, like with a lot of Sombra play, you follow the hacks. So space gets hacked. You need like aggression on space. Let's watch space's hit point bar. It isn't moving. Sinatra's is moving. Raucus is moving. Interesting. I think SGC just got away with that in the confusion. He just literally just jumps on Raucus. No one helps him. XQC should die here to this though. Yep. Ooh, that was close. Shawfall got. It looks like Shawfall found. Shawfall's like back here. It looks like he found the Doomfist. Yeah, Bro's just got a hack on the Doomfist. Yeah, and then you just solo him. Doomfist against Sombra. If Sombra has hacked him, it's just easy life. Interesting choice to back out there. Moonbo will survive that a little bit longer. Shawfall gets that kill. So the danger here is the Nano Winston. Nano Winston is very, very likely to just cause problems. So yeah, there it is. Dragon Blade. Oh, it's stuck in a small room and discorded. Doesn't get much value. Yeah, still just tickling on the point. There is a sorry, Canada's still tickling on the point. There is a big retake chance here. Yeah. Like, with US's comp, one of the big advantages of US's comp is that, like, Raucus dying is one thing, because he'll get back slowly, so, like, both of these supports get back slowly, but everybody else gets back quickly. So you can squeeze out 2 fights with this comp. So Sinatra just comes through Hotel, does the Doomfist thing of just trying to delete someone, manages to set up Muma at least for a kill. Crimzo in trouble now, has to trance, that's not good. Muma's just going to stall it. Looks for the Zen. Gets bubbled. Very nice from XQC. Okay, Hydration finds agilities in the back though. Hydration's super low. There we go. So Canada can engage here with the Primal Monkey and probably fish out the ultimate. So with the Nano Winston. So like Canada have some difficult choices ahead. They can do a number of different things. They can either just send in the Nano Winston to try and fish out Raucus' ultimate, or they try and hope that Shawfall can EMP it. If Shawfall EMPs it, you still could probably just Nano Winston and win. Where is Raucus playing from? That's Doomfist. The red is really hard to make out. There he is. So yeah, Raucus has to be really careful about where he plays. He should be playing close to corners. Shawfall's trying to set up. So yeah, he's going all the way around. This is XUC pressuring. Counter engage goes in. They get at least one. They're going to get two. Crimzo goes down. So this is what I mean when I say like the current meta is very much determined by who executes fastest and who executes cleanest. Executing quickly and cleanly is a really big deal, and the USA seem to be like on top of doing this. So the USA just execute their plan a lot quicker. And this is why I think it'll be fine if, like, because of where Raucus is playing on this high ground. Right, Raucus is up here. It is very difficult to get the Sombra up here without using Translocate. And using Translocate is a really telegraphed thing to do. You can see it happening, so it's kind of tough. And so what you want is to make sure that, like, the big thing to do is to get this ultimate. Now, the danger of the Nano Winston is that he gets slept. So, like, that's definitely a big threat and big consideration here. SUC going to pressure the Zen is fine, but USA just executing this time. And this doesn't really impact, like, the USA's game plan overall. It's honestly surprising to me that they bother nanoing Muma. They do for safety, but hey. So Canada's plan remains unchanged, which is EMP the Zen, Nano Winston win, maybe even Nano Blade now. Shield Force set up at the very least. Has to be careful. Moth doesn't just bump into him. Moth bumps into him. Shield Force has to bounce out. Muma, we'll just bounce him away. This is going to slow down the engagement. As I said, like, getting that position on Raucus is a kind of a big deal. So they might have to engage with the Nano Blade now. Banny dies in the interim. They're just diving Banny time and time again. USA is executing. What? How is Sinatra on Doomfist and Hydration on Sombra? I'm guessing that's just how they practice it. I agree that it's an interesting choice, considering Hydration's been playing Doomfist a lot, but maybe Sinatra's Doomfist is better, maybe Hydration's Sombra is better. I don't know. Shieldfor's still holding on to his EMP. It's not that he's holding on to his EMP, he hasn't had the chance to use it. He's sort of whiffed twice. Well, first time he was just taking ages to get into position, and by the time, because he has to, basically to get into position, right? Zen is here, okay? To get into position, he has to either come through here, go through here, come up the stairs here, and then get to here, which is really obvious and, like, spammed, and it's going to be difficult to do that. Or he has to go all the way through here, around here, through here, then up here, and then to get to here. Or he goes, like, all the way around and, like, goes, like, all the way up here and then, like, up this way and through here. Getting to this Zen is a pain in the ass if you are not willing to just use the Translocator to do it. Using the Translocator to do it gives Raucus enough time to ult. So it looks like he might just try and take a jumping path. Or I think he's trying to counter-engage now. So I think they've just sort of cottoned on. Okay, Banny's being jumped. I'm just going to bait Muma and try and get Muma. So there it is. Now kill Muma. Trance from Raucus, maybe? A little bit late. Geodies gets one with a Nano Blade. But USA is just getting more value off it again. Like, all of USA's plans are working. The USA just, like, solved Canada completely. Just downloaded and solved. Raucus was not EMP'd once. It's actually kind of crazy how good this is. Because it's just Muma that gets caught with that. And honestly, like, I'd say Raucus will probably be fine just trancing and, like, wait a little bit and then trance now. Crimzo trances for the engage, and then it's like, well, Raucus just rubs his hands together, just waits. Trances. It's just a diva getting cut up. It's not really a big deal. Space is anti-healed as well, but just doesn't go down. Target focus seems all over the place in Canada. I think Muma, I think this is like the hero retake. Like, no almost caps. Sinatra stalls. Contested, contested, contested. They clear it, but then Muma gets back on it, and Muma just tanks this bomb like a sheer badass. How did Muma survive the Diva Bomb? Nano boost. So 50% damage reduction, 1,000 hit points. He's fine. If I remember, they show a replay of like Muma's retake. It's really cool. But yes, Sinatra just doing work on the Doomfist. This is why I say like Doomfist is a better Genji at this point. Shawfall did not get to do anything that game. Good positioning out of the USA, decisive plays, good stuff. In the wise words of Infiltration at Evo, download complete. Yeah, it's just. So yeah, I love the Nano as well, just to make sure. I mean, like, Moth knows that he's not going to make it there in time, so hey, might as well.
And obviously on this particular patch as well, Winston hits pretty hard. He landed from the jump and then got a punch to build.
Blade is still pretty good. Blade is really good, but Doomfist just Doomfist gets a lot more value outside of the Blade. And if the enemy insists on running Zenyatta, then hey.
Really smart heads up play. I know speaking with Team USA, they really like the way Moth calls the games.
Again, with the pace of the game at the moment, it feels like Zen is kind of dropping out. Moth seems to be a really good support player in general. All of USA play on like another level. Like, they had really good performances, all of them. So is it the old USA Sinatra Reinhardt? So Muma peeking out. And then yeah, they're doing sort of the Ryan Winston goats. So Canada need to basically very, very, very quickly build up this this bomb. And just to clear the trap. Agility is just building, building, building. Not really much progress gained by USA so far. They need to wait for cooldowns to recharge, so they're going to do that. Canada should just be rotating. This is nice. This is huge value. This is sort of a nice part about this comp is that the Winston can sort of split off. It isn't like Goats where everyone like the Zarya has to stay with the team because she's not very agile. The Winston can just split off, and this is just such ridiculous value because he has two people now locked down. Hopefully, the rest of the USA is doing something at this point. Yep. So they're breaking out. They're going to kill XQC here. Agility's as Riptire. That looks like a Nano Diva as well. It's a big kill. If they get a third here, it's quite nice, but this looks done. Did they get Note's bomb there? Yeah, they did. USA with a lot of ults coming online. They're swapping off now. Sure. Okay. It's a Genji Sombra. It's actually a nice position because Shawfall has a sight. And the Hammond Winston. Oh, the halt. Denied. I love it. Just, oh. Lol. So Shawfall has Infrasight. So this really does limit what hydration can do. Like, USA have to kind of just wait this out. They're going to have another Primal, at least. Or not, I keep calling it Primal, Nano. Banny in a lot of trouble here. Has to Valkyrie just to survive. And this is just Value Town. This was just phenomenal. This is crazy. The amount of control this takes on the Primal Rage is just insane. Like, that ult got no value. Canada's still doing okay, but Jesus. Like, this is nuts to me. As someone who frequently, like, I have no control over people. When I Primal Rage, people go every fucking where. I don't know about you guys, but for me, that's very much the case. Primal Rage just launches people to the freaking moon. Wherever they want to go, I will put them there, no doubt. Muma has so much control, he just counters trance individually. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter on the point because they end up just like whiffing a little bit. We've got the Nano Winston back. Sinatra just shuts down Shawfall. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. We've got the Nano Winston back. Sinatra just shuts down Shawfall. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. This is a nightmare situation. There's no surviving this. And now this is where like USA are like, yep, our reinforcements hack on the diva, no cycling the bomb, big hack. And there we go. And just EMP just for fanfare. Shilfor has a nap. So one of the weaknesses of Canada's like the Orisa strat is interesting. The issue with Orisa on first, like the Orisa Junkrat, is that it, especially the Orisa, doesn't give you a good transition to second. It's something that people are finding a lot of. Like defending first is pretty difficult these days. So you're seeing more and more teams push towards playing around, sort of having an okay first, stalling out first as much as possible, and then playing around second a lot more. The immortal words of Jane of "We've got them figured out, so the comeback is real." Let's see how that goes.
Because Winston normally gets out of left out of the many tank compositions, right? The one team I remember.
I love Infused Surprise. Why do you play Anna? She's OP. Why do you play Sombra? She's OP. Why do you play he's OP? So that's yeah. Big part of like being a pro player is just figuring out what is good at the moment and playing it.
You could see it that way. But other than that, normally in
Doomfist right now, pretty good.
but his mobility actually gives the USA another option for, putting pressure on the back line instead of just the enemy tanks. So, we've been theory crafting about it in the break. It's super interesting.
USA teasing the May. Unfortunately, not the case. The Winston Hammond is super interesting to me. Winston Hammond Diva. I mean, the way Muma's been playing, like Muma seems to have stepped up. I think he's always been good, but now he looks really good. How old are you? What a personal question. I'm 30. 30 years of age. I'm ancient. I mean, this team comp looks okay. Again, the acid test for any team comp is, does it work against goats? Okay, then does it work against other things? Like the only weakness I can see is like against pharmacy. And even then it should be okay. Like the Ana and the Sombra, you should be alright. So yeah, quick scout. Genji Sombra. Genji Sombra dive. Jesus. Was he hacked as well? I mean, the Sombra pops up in the kill feed, so I guess he was. Yeah, Hydration just hacks him. Like, Agilities just pops around the corner to scare. This is such a good position. Oh my god, I love it. So it's not uncommon for, like, people to start up here on this box, right? Where I am now. And so it's not uncommon to see people like scout it, like go, okay, well, Agilities wants to see what's up here, and he goes, oh, okay, well they have Hammond and they have a Winston, so Hydration just waits, and then just hacks him, and then you just watch the Genji drop like a stone, and it's like, yep, you're dead, GG. That's so nice. Hi XQC, bye XQC. Daddy, can you tell me about the Industrial Revolution? Yes. It was dusty. Kids worked for cheap labor. Everyone got really rich. Canada changing things up. Agilities goes on to the Brigitte. So this should like cause problems for the Hammond. You have Anno, Brig, and Sombra. I'm really curious to see how Sinatra like plays around this.
We'll see how long they switch on this. Muma probably wanted to jump up onto the high ground. Hit that little lip there.
Looks like, yeah, that engage looks like it sort of went wrong. Nano Winston, everyone's in a small room. LOL. He's hacked, but he's still just going to get value. He's got supports keeping him alive as well, which is nice. Nice. And a little bit of the banter. I love it. As Uber says, a message has been sent. But everybody means like 10 people. Please, that's the modern era. There's like 10 people being stupidly rich. I love the, like, again, this is the decisiveness I love out of the US. They're not even letting them get through choke. They're just playing aggro. They're just going for it. They're far enough out of spawn that you can do this sort of thing. They commit EMP and the minefield. Sinatra already has another one. Honestly, Hammered Ultimate, you can commit as much as you like. Muma might die here. Yeah. Muma will be back pretty quick. Yes, Primal Rage if necessary. Canada do have a sort of a go time during all of this. EMP has to be good. EMP is good. Gets both supports. Space kills himself by running away from his supports. This should be a quick cleanup. I think if Muma survived there, it would be quite different. Nano Winston. There's a Transcendence. This is okay for USA, actually. Like, even if USA lose this fight, it's not the end of the world. Like, they got Trounce out, they got Rally out, they got EMP out, they got Nano out. So the danger of a snowball is pretty limited. I am very happy to see Sinatra pick up the brig. Sort of semi-overdue. Sure, for looking for the hack. I think got spotted. Has to bounce out, I'm sure. Oh, the ult. Hacked. Lol. LOL. Muma gets caught out. I think that was just mostly the Diva bot. No, it still has it. That was Space's bomb. Muma? Question mark? You okay? He sort of jumps onto point and just gets chunked down by something. Looks like it's the Diva more than anything. I think he ended up out of line of sight of the Ana. So that's twice that Muma is fed. When he's good, he's good. When he's iffy, he's iffy. That EMP's not going to amount to anything. And Canada managed to snowball with very limited resources. Ooh, close. He seems like he receives no healing. I think he went around the, like there's the pillar in the middle. It feels like he went around that or got knocked around that by the brig. They might have wanted to wait and look for a, play closer to his supports maybe. We went very aggro. Honestly, USA with a really good hold on first, regardless. Okay, Canada. Oh, Canada. Again, triple support Sombra. So we're playing very heavily around the hacks. Crimzo has still a big question mark. He just seems glued to this Zenyatta. Like, it seems like a kind of a weak link. USA with the Genji Sombra. This is the perfect scouting. Nice. Good job. So, scouting. Get some info. Crimzo already takes a shitload of damage. XQC playing very aggro. I think he has the health pack here. I assume he does. No, he doesn't. USA have that, unless it's bugged. It could, sometimes the interface is bugged. Sinatra's on 60% of an ult, by the way. Just FYI, Sinatra has probably been unimpededly building up this Dragon Blade, so he's been poking. Dive very aggressive. Like, why are they so low when they're on this low ground? Interesting target focus to go for Shore 4. As long as the tanks didn't just bot their way into Crimzo, this is honestly fine for the US. They do have to be a little bit careful because nanoblading into that small room is going to be tough, so they just send Muma in first, for example, and that should be fine. So there's the nano, so Canada goes on the offensive. USA pull back. Sinatra feeds. That felt really mismatched. Like again, the decisiveness seems to have like slipped away. Sinatra doesn't know what he's doing, and or it looks like he dashed to get away from Shore 4. Like he was getting hacked, so he dashed, and he just like dashed forward and ends up in a bad place. So okay.
High ground above agilities there. The rest of his team got caught inside the door.
Hydration out of stealth was trying to draw people back to the point.
So note spamming needs to keep spamming jokes. You can't just let the Sombra come in. So yeah, they know Sombra's in main.
Try and kill the Brigitte. He's going to get stunned, killed right away. So they're able to get nothing out.
Shore 4 can EMP this on the initiate. I want to see decisiveness out of Canada here. Good. Good. Hydration goes down. That's very good. USA haven't had an opportunity to use any of the combos they have. This is what Canada need to be doing. Like this feels like a shutout at this point, right?
Could have used that self-destruct in the choke, but Node actually gets hacked by hydration right before. So the agilities using Rally here, typing everybody out on armor. It's a huge fight for Team USA.
It looks like Hydration's made his way in though. This is something to be kind of scared of. Oh no, Hydration's been found.
Snare boost. Likely a simian recipient. Moving out. Getting himself up there. Sinatra. He's the one, in fact.
So
Doesn't opt to go for the Dragon Blade. There's not any really options.
yeah, he's holding like.
Use of this. But look at Canada.
There's a weird thing happening here where it's like they want to force Crimzo, but they can't get to him.
Needs some backup, but there's the peel.
That was a nano Zen. Oh dearie me.
Play to force the transcendence at the very least. Sinatra realizes discretion would
So like the USA
force much stunning. But look at Canada for the Dragon Blade.
seem to be like working to cross purposes, where it's like hydration isn't there, so you can't just like EMP stuff and expect it to work. Because Crimzo will just ult it, right? If you're gonna just ult and go for this, then you might as well like do it. He might as well just go for the Dragon Blade straight up and just try and kill people through trance.
Doesn't opt to go for
Hydration's EMP'd something, I think on point. Hasn't got much by the looks of things, and yeah, so it's just like all gone kind of terribly wrong. The sort of the one option that USA didn't seem to take is just like nano Winston and just send the Winston in, and like Muma can just sit on people.
discretion would have been the better part of Bella there. Forcing his Zen ultimate is good, but the USA have made no further progress on this point.
Oh, it was a big time play from Bonnie. So they send Muma into the back line, and he uses the Primal Rage, gets up to the high ground, and Bonnie actually hits a sleep dart.
Yep, so slap the Winston.
Note flies up with Diva.
Ugh.
Self-destruct right next to a sleeping Muma, and they pick up the kill that way. So really
Hydration's gone Doomfist now.
players on Canada. Hydration now will play Doomfist. You're gonna have
There's a bizarre option that it feels like USA are just missing, time and time again, which is like, why not just hack someone on this mid ground and just kill them, or just hack XQC and just take him out. So they're setting up for like the big win when there's other opportunities that they seem to be missing, because Canada are playing really well and just like defending what needs to be defended. And now that the Doomfist is out, it's like, okay, it gets a lot simpler for Canada.
put away the Sombra here for Team USA.
As you see in a spot of trouble here, so just be careful.
The no messing sort of setup here. Maybe a bit of respect from the USA now. They realize the need to try and capture the point. Fanny, safe and sound in the backside, and Sinatra, the complete opposite after the micro rockets come thudding into him. XQC will
And there we go.
here.
Oh,
And yes, Hydration can get a knockback, but
yeah.
see if he needs it.
Not too sure about this Doomfist swap, but hey.
So comfortable, and there's 12 seconds left. In the
Muma gets one.
The US barely have time to amass 6 players before this round will be over.
EMP
Sleep dart.
available as well. XQC does get slept on the bridge. He gets one.
EMP.
Big EMP that comes in.
They get a Diva Bomb on the point, and then, oh, Jesus, yes, I remember this. Oh, fucking hell.
EMP and Primal Rage available as well. XQC does
Like, it's honestly just surprising that they even get to the point here and, like, contest it.
that comes in for
And then just... It looks like it's Moth who actually contested as well. Just a rush of blood to the head. Just, oh my god. You can't... You can't even plan for this, you know? It's like, what do you do? They had a barrier there, but it just went down, like, literally... The barrier breaks or just drops at just the wrong moment as well. Right? Look at this. If that barrier was up, they probably would have been fine. Instead, it gets 3.5 basically. Note takes a shitload of damage. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous.
USA take the point here. So XQC still a primal rage. Muma has his now though.
Nano hydration, perhaps?
Muma gets on the point. You're gonna be able to
Nano brig? Oh, works.
Ultra getting the nano boost. Team USA trying to set a good time of their own. They're gonna try and roll it out here. Sinatra hits that shield bash. Back your way up.
So the small saving grace for Canada is like they're all going to come back relatively together. So there is a chance for a retake here. Hello, Crimzo. Oh, bit of a whiff.
Gets out of the way. Does not want to be destroyed in one hit.
And yeah, so Canada actually managed to like retake.
A little bit out of gas at this stage. Hydration comes up with very little.
So the bomb came from that. Yeah, it happens to. I think no, he said like the Canadian Houdini, but it's like it happens when you're casting, especially when it's like unfamiliar and it's the odd colors. It's just a little bit weird. Like you would expect that Canada will be the one in red, and the USA will be like the one in white. But hey,
Opponent. That's just how intense it was. I mean, the timing couldn't have been any better. They needed it there. He's got another.
a slip of the tongue.
Where does this go? No Sombra to set up.
This should be decisive.
EMP on the USA.
There's no other way of saying it. Like
The USA have to back up.
USA engage super hard and then just get EMP straight up. That's gonna be done.
XQC returning the favor.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Keeping the favor going. Is
Look, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
no Sombra even when no she wasn't.
But this isn't too bad for the USA. Like losing a fight that decisively generally means you're gonna come back with a ton of stuff.
Difficult for teams to come in.
Raucus gets hacked.
Want to play on the point.
He's fine because Brig is just there.
In range of getting no 6-person EMP where you
They need to be careful about this agility on the high ground because he's gonna come down and try and kill your supports. But dive goes onto the back line, instantly forces ults. Smoomer should be fine. Sound barrier. Jesus, Moomer is so good at these primal rages. It is pretty fucking impressive. But other things need to be happening at this point. There's one. This feels too slow. And, oh, it's Nano Zen. I mean, it's decent damage at least, I suppose. It's like the follow-up just isn't there.
it's the second time they've
Feels like Hydration's Doomfist just isn't getting the value or something.
and I don't know if it's because
Because like Moomer tied up 2 supports there and yet no one died.
with the damage reduction through all of it or if probably it's just
Realize Nano Brig is literally immortal? Yes. Nano Brig is immortal and it can kill people pretty reliably. Like when she just starts cleaving into the enemy team, it's actually pretty dangerous.
Transcendence EMP and self-destruct for this Nick.
It's a really nice like engagement tool.
Not a lot of time left for Team USA, only a minute to go.
Dildy's just trying to desperately
So another hard engage, no doubt coming in. EMP. Canada Diva Bomb into it as well. EMP Bomb, very, very potent. Canada are doing a good job just cycling these ultimates. Like next fight should be Nano XQC, maybe Nano Agilities, but probably Nano XQC.
Not surprising there.
USA, probably, yeah, this is last fight. Like
Changes potentially, try and get towards the end here.
they might get a Nano boost during this fight. They might get a sound barrier. It depends on who goes down early.
And Nano, you don't switch off of that. You have Rally.
You'll need to rally and play aggressively.
Really on hydration to get these kicks.
the outplay on Moomer was so
Agility, that's a big deal. Sinatra just activated rally and just died instantly. Chunked out by agilities.
real. First he gets booped away from his intended target on the high ground, then put to sleep. But Sinatra and Raucus both going down once again. The USA
This should just be Canada.
therefore bleeding their own health. Agility just holds on. Space in deep trouble. You need
There we go.
to drag this one out. Make a real
Boop.
painful for the US
In Dunzo.
to make their way back into this series, and now it's just overtime. Hydration got bionated, and
And there we go. So Canada take their map.
Doesn't 13 you're just getting those slam hitting
If she's brawling at all, she can take multiple full charge with her headshots and keep going. It's pretty absurd. Yeah. 50% damage reduction on the tanky hero. It's self-healing. Generally with Ana healing on top of it. It's scary. Gotta respect it. Rialto. So, Rialto is an odd map. It's a very, very odd map. People are still confused about Rialto, is the general vibe I tend to get. Mostly because the first point is garbage. After the first point, I think Rialto is okay. I do think that like this bit here as well is a little bit iffy. You basically can't, if the enemy team has any kind of long range hit scan, you can't fight out here. So like this entire space here is kind of useless. Because if they have a Widow and they just put them here or like up here, you cannot fight in this space. So it's like all of this part of the second point is kind of useless. It's like dead. And then first point is super weird. It like starts with like the most narrow closed in environment and then goes to the most open space in the world. It's really weird. So it's why you generally see teams defend on first, and then after first falls, then they tend to push all the way pretty much to third. And it's just because this like holding first is such an awkward proposition, because you can either focus on having a team comp that's good at holding this early choke, or you can have a team comp that's good at holding the latter part.
Wrecking ball as like a main tank here if you would like. A lot of nice areas where he can grapple, go high off the high ground, come down with some big pile drivers.
Do we see Sinatra riding on this map?
So Canada opting for, again, just like purely playing around Shield 4 Sombra. Looks like they're playing quite far back. They have an agile comp. Crimzo still on this Zenyatta. He likes this Zenyatta pick a lot. Just checking some corners. Sombra's going to be behind you. Like, there's a lot of pathways for Sombra on this map. It's pretty easy. It's kind of hard to deal with. So the Ana's going to be causing some problems here. So yeah, Hydration has to kind of respect that. He can't just like fly out into the open. You can see that Mercy, Moth, it's very, very hard to make out, but Moth is almost dead. You have to respect that Ana. Like, you don't, and someone will die. Chase out the Sombra. So yeah, Canada don't even bother holding this first corner much. Like, they're going to wait until here, and then they're going to start their hold. So you can see, like, the Pharah is now stuck out in the open, and Hydration is just taking a lot of damage from the Sombra, from the Ana. If Sombra, like, gets a hack on here or something, this could swing very dramatically. I like the Tracer pick here. If Canada are not going to run a Brig, then you just run the Tracer. Oh no, they have a Brig. Where is Agilities? Agilities is playing... It looks like he's playing up here. But where is Crimzo? God, it's so hard. It's impossible to make out. And they're just forced onto the backline. Oh, game ready driver is available. Good to know. Crimzo's up here. So yeah, the Brig is like purely playing around the Zen. It feels like Canada just don't have a fight. Hello, Canada, hello? They've got the Tracer, but Tracer's going to fall back. Does manage to get it, but this is going to be a dead Agilities. Should be a dead Agilities. There we go. The respawn here is actually pretty good for Canada, so... There's a Nano Winston. Should be fine. Okay. Okay, so USA still kind of... Okay, Agility swapped off the Brig. That's a weird decision. I don't understand this at all. The thing, like, you can make the argument that, okay, well, maybe it's to get back from spawn faster. But honestly, the spawn distance here is not that huge, and Brig isn't the slowest out of the spawn in general anyway. And you can, like, with the health pack, the range of the health pack, if you're playing around this corner, you still get value from it. So it's... This feels like this is just like going, Sinatra, please kill Crimzo. Please kill my Zenyatta over and over and over again. Sinatra should feel real good at this point.
Who plays hit scan on the side of Canada? Agilities, we don't really see him play McCree 76 Widow. No. You have to move off of Sombra at that point, which Surefour has been so good on Sombra. Yeah, I mean, we've seen Surefour play some McCree.
So the casters are talking about right now the fact that, like, the Pharah, one of the ideas behind the Pharah is that you can push Surefour off Sombra and push him onto the Widow. So it looks like the Sombra is playing defensively. The Sombra is like waiting for someone to engage, and then will EMP as a counter engage. Like they are hoping for like the Tracer or the Winston to dive in, and they're going to try and counter engage it by the looks of things. So there it is. Counter engage. Winston dies instantly. Diva bomb.
That shut him down awfully quick. Every support ability got thrown.
And there we go.
Lucky man, and he's down. Sinatra eats a big shuriken.
There is a danger to that playstyle, which is that you are kind of letting the enemy team dictate the pace of the game.
Oh, it's troubled city for Moth right now. There's really no way he was going to get away from that. Yes. Look at him. He's talking to him. Moth can't hear you, Felix, but we see it.
So now do you want to stay on this far? I mean, I think this is what it comes to, right? Sinatra will play for
And like I said, this first point is brutal to take because now you're playing in like one of the most open ground spaces available.
5% of all Team USA's damage.
This is kind of a cute route. I actually kind of like this. He needs his mercy with him, or the Diva's just going to come kill him. Muma's there to protect, which is okay. This is kind of nice. Yeah, he needs the mercy. Where is mercy? Hello, mercy. There goes the nanoblade into the back line. Why wasn't Moth with hydration? I don't know. I don't know.
Transcendence brought forward as well by Crimzo, just to assist a little bit. They lost XQC early in the fight, but they make up some ground at least with the Genji.
It looks like they're swapping off this Pharah as well.
The most important part, USA are still throwing themselves at this one, but hydration gets shut down midway through his barrage. It gets no result.
The only reason is they're swapping. They've got to be swapping. Doomfist, maybe?
Halfway to another blade once more. Muma just getting
Sombra of their own.
and hacked. He can only walk.
There's not enough real time for this to work, though.
QC using his own primal rage. Self-destruct up in the eye there for space. He only gets one with it. Note's gonna drop his right by the payload.
One for one.
Actually, wait.
He only and XQC using his own primal
Oh, he got slapped. Okay.
self-destruct up in the eye there for space. He only gets one with it. Note's gonna drop his right by the
That is a nice big kill. I mean, losing Raucous is pretty pivotal as well, but there's the hack onto Note. So now Note should just drop.
Sinatra and Space is D-Mech. A chance for Canada to come back here, and the US already had 10 seconds to get
Like I said, hacking Diva.
trying to maintain
It's a big deal.
but it looks like
It really is a big deal.
run out of gas until XQC returns.
EMP, but damage is still coming out. The EMP's not being pivotal here. Nano Winston. XQC causing problems. Sinatra just healing through it.
And he hits a big helix rocket.
And between Sinatra and Moth, it's fine.
Crimzo on the bridge. He's low.
Raucous with the old soldier respawn. I love it.
They get that checkpoint.
Nice.
United States just hanging in there.
not pretty there. As you can see from Raucous' POV playing the Ana. See how difficult it is to deal with primal rage.
That's how XQC does.
Be playing the Ana. See how difficult
Oh my god, that flick is insane. That's beautiful.
this start there.
That is crazy.
You sometimes you ask yourself with sleep darts, it's like, are they trying to hit that? I'll give
So,
that was filthy.
Doomfist coming out. They are still on the summer of their own.
Agilities on Doomfist here. I'd look to see that as we go through this next phase of the map here.
I'm really curious to see where Hydration's playing from. This is what I mean by the way. Yeah, so Hydration's sort of gets spotted. This is sort of what I mean by like this bit out here by the river is, or the canal, is so difficult to fight on. Instantly woken up. Manages to dodge the sleep dart. That's a big deal. Big old deal. He really wants it. There we go. Bounty's gone. Again, Muma has such good control with his promo rate. It's kind of crazy. Remember in the last World Cup, you said Raucous swapping to Soldier was a really big mistake.
In a rally. Sure, if word goes in deep,
I think it's fine. Like the Ana thing would still work.
you will have hydration.
Because he can just provide healing. Standard. EMP, Diva Bomb. Good combo.
Self-destruct there to ensure that the honor is removed. And Shortfall was always going to leave eventually.
Just good opportunistic play. Honestly, the use of the Primal Rate there is fine.
Canada can still fight this. Note there.
Managed to get the hack on him, I think. Barely.
Canada gonna pick up some kills from the back line. They're able to keep
If they can get another hack on Note, that'll be a big deal. Otherwise, yeah, this re-engage is going to happen.
back line. Still fight this.
I mean, this was a bigger deal. But they didn't manage to burn down XQC before he Primal Raged. Just barely gets it out.
Canada can still fight this. Note there too with the
And yeah, like they have a lot of still potential here, so
kills from the back line. They're
again, like at the end of the point is not where you want to have your fights.
up XQC.
Nothing from that self-destruct there. Remember, is put to sleep. Now Agilities returns to the fray. And, well, USA
A rising uppercut.
say no.
A rising apricot.
Guy like that, we know we can't hang around. 43 seconds remain. Payload is rather close to that checkpoint. So one more fight for the US would have given it to them. But what are they?
Like Canada's in a pretty good position here. Actually, they have a lot of good options. Because the thing with EMP, like EMP Doomfist ult is actually better than you would expect because you don't have movement abilities, so he's going to land on someone. They need to find Shield or like they need to stay spread out so they can't just get EMP'd. Moth needs to not get EMP'd. Like the biggest thing here is that if Moth gets EMP'd, Canada should be able to hold this, or Canada just don't initiate fast enough and start losing people. That's pretty bad too. Shield Force just running around in a circle. He's looking for Moth, gets Moth. Most of his team's already dead. Still seems okay, but they're going to re-engage now. Sound barrier. There we are. Too slow. Too slow. They got so caught up in, well, let's... Why didn't the nano boost go as well? I think it goes on XQC. And yeah, like, this shouldn't be allowed to happen. And then it's just like, well, your DPS is dead. Like, Sombra's recalled, or Sombra is translocated, Agilities is dead. What kills things? Nothing. So it's like, well, you've EMP'd everyone, but you got no damage. So it's just a little bit too hungry for the old big pivotal. Let's get Lucio. And like, there's some weird things with this fight. Like, I'm going to linger on this fight actually because it's kind of a big deal because you actually have alternatives here. So yeah, Agilities gets hacked and then just gets burnt down. So Hydration just does a really good job with that hack as well. Just catches him out. But like with the nano boost, like you can nano and send XQC in, and just send like XQC to go and bully Moth. Instead, he's like bullying Muma, and Muma just doesn't really care. But honestly, like the nano Winston can force the Lucio ultimate, you know. And just a little bit too delayed. But I've said it before and I said it again. This is a matter of decisive play. Canada just keeping the snowball rolling. Rebuilding some ults. Bullying what they can. Agility's in trouble. They're just going to chase him to hell and back. I love it. XQC. Feeding some ult charge to people. Having a nap. Gonna get stunned and ganked and killed. Might just survive this. Nope. Transforce. This is bad. Muma's been nanoed. I keep saying primal. Managed to get one. Payload is slowly moving though. So okay, Shield did a good job stalling that up a little bit. Salvage the situation. I still feel like Diva Defense Matrix should be able to intercept Brig armor pack and nano boost when they're traveling. Your thoughts? I think it would that would delete Brig from the game. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like you definitely, and I don't think Ana needs nerfs. Like eating the heal grenade is more than enough. That's big. Surefour just, I guess, didn't have a translocator. He just died. You got EMP Bomb coming up. EMP Bomb is a scary combo. Sinatra barely survives, can rally. And having rally up before the enemy EMP is actually, like, again, a huge deal. It just makes everyone a lot more survivable. It makes it killing people and converting into kills a lot harder. Hydration could also try and get Shield 4 on his way out. So yeah, just EMPs the door. Bomb goes out, doesn't find anything. Muma finding a lot though. And the nano. And finishing Rialto, like, isn't the biggest deal. Like, getting all the way in here, even without finishing, isn't huge. Like, completing Rialto is a rarity. And it looks like they're going to do it. Shield 4 got hacked? Yeah. It's the disadvantage of when, like, the enemy Sombra has EMP, and you need to leave spawn, they will EMP the spawn. Like, they'll wait and then go, okay, Probably about now. EMP the spawn. If they guess wrong, they guess wrong. If they guess right, they guess right. Oh, you mean she was hacked in the back? Oh, yes, she was. Oh, yeah. Unluckers. Just good, like, hydration turned 180 to get that hack. That's actually really nice. Good calling. Careful suggesting anything that might delete Brig from the game. People will be begging for it. Yeah. I talked about it at the start of the stream. I think if you nerf Tracer, you can nerf Brig, and then it will solve itself. Brig is as powerful as she needs to be because she needs to control Tracer, who is overpowered. It's a sequence. Okay, Farah Doomfist on the defense. Alright, Canada are playing a lot of Sombra. This comp is a little bit vulnerable to that. So Space going to spam away. Sombra naturally going to go the safe route. I like the spam, but Muma has to move because he has to go and defend the front, so doesn't catch Shorefall. Almost does. Space hacked. Just a lot of damage. Honestly, the follow-up doesn't even have to really be here. It's just the rest of the team has to fall back. They're probably just going to take first corner. Take some space. Hydration still 40%, Shorefall 40%. These are the big things you need to be looking at. Now the USA need to aggress. Like, this is where USA's comp's going to be strong. So yeah, USA going to play aggressive from here. Crimzo still married to this Zenyatta. Going to get the shit dove out of him. Oh. Feels rough, man. Oh. He wants Crimzo. He wants him bad. He's not getting him just yet, though. And he can't barrage yet because Agility's in his face. Agility's used deflect. Just going to get rocketed down by looks of things. Almost. Has to reload. Oh, he wants it so bad. This is a good hold out of the US. They are like really playing to the strength of their comp. The danger is like Canada have like a really nice win combo of just going like full bore and just going EMP Nanoblade. It's not a combo you really want to use both at once in, but if they feel pressured to it, then they will do so. Really nice bounce out though. That's going to slow this comp down even more. There's the Nanoblade. Gets one. Gets two. Almost gets three. Rock is still alive, pushing them out. There's still another fight for USA, so it's not over yet. Now it might be over. The EMP gets stunned. No, but I think it still cancels it. I think the punch still cancelled it. Yeah. Oh, he got stunned. It says stunned on the screen. I'm guessing it's just, yeah, while you are punched, you are stunned, technically. So EMP fails. Nanoblade goes in regardless. It's a pretty good ultimate. And like, there's a small detail here that's kind of important. Where is Muma? Where are you, Muma? Are you in the backline somewhere? Looks like Muma was just really badly out of... Banny killed Muma. I'm guessing this is a sleep dart over the water? No, he just shoots him down. So you need like Muma to control this, basically. Do you think it was luck or skill? Little column A, little column B. I think Shorefall just, like, the EMP was just set up badly. This is honestly just going to deny USA a second fight, so it's pretty good by USA. Like, any chance they have of a second fight is gone. It's good trade, primal, fine. Looks good. It's always an awkward moment. And there you go, just got to get out. Gonna have to wait for some healing. So again, this bridge is kind of difficult to do things with. Diva Bomb gets nothing. Crimzo in trouble though. They force the trance. That's really nice for a fight this early. I'm just going to keep on it. Hacking the Pharah. Eh. And like the fact that they can even fight in this area, like this is where Canada just needs to like temporarily just swap to a Widow and just deny the space. Committing the EMP. I'm honestly not the biggest fan. Like you want to save that EMP for getting around the corner, for doing the difficult bit. This is not the difficult bit at this point. Oh, Raucous is on a health pack and has support. Should be okay. There we go. So now they have a Sombra of their own. I'm fine with them ditching the Pharah here. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse the longer it goes. This is good peel by space because Sombra can 100% solo a Doomfist. It's gonna pressure Muma. Muma might have to do something about this. Should be 2 kills. Good. The question is, like, can they still win this? Because Sinatra during all of this has been doing exactly the same thing. So while Agilities look really impressive here, Sinatra is doing the same on the back line. The enemy team. Oh. Oh. With our ulti or swapping. She's gonna get mech at least. Just get around the corner. Oh, still in line of sight. Zen can kill, but doesn't. Close. Bit of an interesting choice. I don't know how intentional that was, but hey. Big win condition. So again, like, you know, Uber points this out, but only Muma was caught by the EMP. But just to point out, oh look, Muma dies before he can Primal Rage. It doesn't actually matter that much. As long as you're getting a target that everybody can focus on, it's gonna work regardless. Would you say that the tank players are the difference between the two teams? No, I'd say USA is just more decisive. Like USA like seem to come up and act on plans a lot faster than Canada do. So like the USA just looks sharper overall. It's like the USA are making decisions quicker. Canada seems to confuse themselves every so often. I'd also say like Crimzo seems completely married to the Zenyatta, while USA supports are a little bit more varied. So you can see like the US, they came out of spawn, they had a plan, they just engaged straight away. Muma's super low. Ooh, Muma! I think it's just Agility's pulling back the entire team. I think Muma really needed to heal. Re-engage with the EMP. The EMP got nothing. So the payload blocked it. EMP Diva Bomb. Diva Bomb's a bit of a whiff. A whifferoni. Still okay. Like, if they EMP and like, so like, okay. So you managed to get around the corner. Trances. It's still fine. Like the Diva Bomb bought them enough space where they can't really do anything with this trance anyway. And so they follow the Zenyatta, they kill the Zen, and then they just pick targets off. Diva eats the bomb, good job. Bunny in trouble, and down they go. It's, again, USA are just like, they're acting and reacting as a unit faster. They are playing like a full team, a lot better. That's a nice kill. That's a good sleep dart as well. Looks like they're going to just try and wait and camp it out. Everyone's having a bit of a nap. Moon was hacked, killed. There we go. And it's like, did they really need everybody to wait? So now they have like a good 3-4 seconds, move into the point. Okay. Now they've traded. Muma's going to respawn. Muma's back. And now there should just be a re-engage. There's 1 minute left on the clock. Where is Shawfor? Okay, Shawfor's actually getting into position. This is sort of the big question. So is Shawfor in position? USA, instant re-engage, EMP. You see what I mean by the USA are just that much more decisive? And then if they can stall this out, it will be a big deal. It looks like she's just going to run for the water. XQC feeds. Yeah, this was a weird decision. They're like, oh, I'll cover you on your reset. It's like, she's going to die anyway. Numbnuts. I don't...
Especially that sound barrier. And their space just cleaning up and staggering a little bit more. That's frustrating for Canada. They are running out of time.
30 seconds to go. Shawfor's EMP needs to be a one hell of a doozy. He's in position but gets spotted. This was a crucial thing actually. Shawfor just needs to like be camping like here and just like or hiding behind a pillar and just waiting. But he actually gets spotted out by Moth. Like Moth and Sinatra hunt him down, flush him out. So now Shawfor has to re-engage from the front. And you can see instantly, and I love this by Space. Space goes into here because one of the pathways that you see quite often, Sombra's quite often used, is this like a staircase over here. You can get in through here, then sort of snake your way out through here, or even go like the long way. So it's a really, really nice use of just setting up with the D.Va. So the D.Va just spams this corridor, so then they have to come in through the front, and you're spamming your regular DPS through this area anyway. Makes it much harder for Shawfor to get in a good position. He's going to have to translocate to engage. Shawfor gets through anyway. It's just the danger of it, but they're still like swinging non-stop, spamming. Looks like Shawfor actually got caught, had to back out. And oh look, the USA are being decisive. You see what I mean by the USA engaging quicker? Like they're not just letting it's not like, oh, we set up, wait. It's like, okay, when they cross a certain threshold, we will engage using Nano Winston. Winston engages straight away, just drops on them, jumps on them, forces out the ultimate. Space throws out a D.Va bomb as well, nice and early, just into their engagement as well, slows down the engagement. EMP comes through. Doesn't matter because they're so busy dealing with Muma and Space that they can't actually capitalize on the back of it. Like, it's that early decision making, it's that early choices being made that are making the USA win these fights. And so I don't think it's like, Banny was shit or something, anything like that really makes a difference here. It is literally just the USA are acting faster, communicating better, and they have decisions made long before Canada are even in position, and they're executing on those decisions a lot quicker. So yeah. And when you play that well, it's like you will win more engagements than you know. Didn't you know that my favorite players carried and my least favorite player sucked? Yeah. And it's, it's not like, oh, well, XQC fed at that last fight, that's why they lost. Like, it's not that simple. XQC had a couple of clutch plays in that series. He played pretty well throughout. It's not that simple of just like, this one player fucked up. That's like really podunk analysis, and it's not... It's kind of meaningless. Alright.
Welcome to Overwatch.
Hey, thank you. Seaward in the Hood. I like your name. It's easy to say. Oh, we got the blue morph. Is that Captain Planet? I think that is. No, that's not Captain Planet. He's working. He's busy. All right, guys. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Because otherwise, I will wrap it up here. I've been talking for like 4 hours, 4.5 hours. My voice is tired, and I am tired. So yeah, there's the US flag, ready to be draped over Jane. Honestly, the USA. The quality on display of the US team, like, they look like they would have beaten Korea, where Korea was. Switzerland versus Austria? Yeah, we'll do some more tomorrow. We probably won't spend quite as much time on it, but we'll take a look. I do want to look at Switzerland. They did have some standout plays, and yeah, it's worth just taking a look at Switzerland and Austria overall. So yeah. Do you think the BM helps or hinders either team? Probably, like, it probably is a net neutral. The thing is, if it does, and if it can tilt someone, do it. 100% do it. If the enemy team can't keep the cool, tilt them. And like someone like XQC will tilt. So like, do it. Do it 100%. I am fine with a little bit of teabagging here and there. I'd rather see emotes, but teabagging is, sure, Like, if you can tilt the enemy, do it. 100%. It's part of competition. Jane did an interview with Ark. He explained that it was possible for a high-level Korean contender team to make it to playoffs in the Overwatch League. Do you agree with this, and why? I agree. I agree that well, make it into the playoffs. Like, does he mean without any practice? Because although the Overwatch, the reason why that could work, I'll just leave this playing because whatever. The reason why that could work is that the Overwatch League practice regime is basically based off Korean style. So the high level Korean teams will have similar practice. The issue is that they probably are not scrimming quite as many Overwatch League teams, and Overwatch League is like a crucible. It really does step people's level play up to another level. As we've sort of seen Western teams catching up with the Korean-based teams. I think it is possible, but if you look at like the Korean teams overall, like Seoul imploded, for example. NYXL did pretty well, but dropped out pretty early. Spitfire, of course, went on to win, but looked shaky for a long time. Like, I don't think it's fair just to say straight up that, oh yeah, the Korean teams could come in and dominate. I think it is possible. I do not think it is like a slam dunk like some people would expect. How do you rate Space and Off Tank? Really fucking good. He deserves a lot of the praise he gets. I know Monty has him pegged down like the best player in America. It is a hard thing to do to like highlight an Off Tank without like super focusing on it. So let's find some gameplay, some spicy gameplay moments. That's way too far back. Like, that's a completely different game entirely. Yeah. General rule of thumb is with an Off Tank is if you aren't talking about them, they're generally doing things right. Sounds like a weird thing to say, but he doesn't seem to make mistakes. And especially when playing against a team as Sombra oriented as the enemy, it's amazing that Space lives as much as he does. He gets value with his bombs. He pretty much saved the US single-handedly on Anubis. He seems continually good and continually value. Without investigating and deep diving into it, without statistics, I couldn't tell you specifically, however. How many UK players would you expect to make it into Overwatch League next season? I'm hoping, my hope is probably 2. Not including Boombox, 2 new UK players. The difference is, Numlock has been dropped by Valiant, which I don't think anyone is too surprised by, considering he spent all stage on the bench. So it's, you kind of expect that, right? You would expect that to happen. Numlock's presence on the team for a long time is sort of one of the weirder mysteries overall. Because Overwatch League team is better than the best Korean contenders team, but I did say there was a possibility. I would disagree that the weakest Overwatch League team is better than the best Korean contenders team. Runaway would shit over Shanghai from a great height, I believe. I think a lot of teams. I think Season 1 Season 1 Hurricane could probably shit all over Shanghai. Not including Shanghai, even then, Florida still weak. The dregs of Overwatch League would not probably stand up to Korean contenders teams. The middle of the pack, certainly. The middle of the pack will probably do pretty well. There is a chance, but I'd still give advantage Houston, Valiant, even Shock. These guys. I'd still give advantage to them. But yeah, UK players, yeah, I think Kib will do very well. I think, honestly, it's a shame that Cruz doesn't get picked. Hopefully Cruz gets picked up, and I kind of hope for him, but because he is a player that is very good at. He's a really good shot calling and a really good sort of focal point for a team. He's very, very good at sort of making decisive calls and determining what needs to happen, what doesn't need to happen in fights. He has amazing talent at doing that. The issue is that he plays a lot of mercy and a lot of sort of support, so it's very difficult to see what he's bringing to the team. What do you think of the teams that are going to qualify in Bangkok? Without a doubt, Sweden. And then between China and Australia, who knows? Denmark could cause an upset. Spain, probably not. They're kind of playing on fumes. The issue with Spain is their best player is their supports. And so it's what do you do? I mean, Poppy Fresh isn't bad. Toxican's pretty good. But I don't know, man. Australia could definitely surprise. China could actually surprise as well. Chinese team is actually okay, but they are missing some of the better players. I think Eileen is too young, for example, so Eileen wasn't playing, which is a shame because the lad is insane. But Sky's definitely stepped up on China. Gushi's pretty good. We'll see how they do. Neptuno dropped out from Spain. Oh yeah, he did, didn't he? Fucking hell. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Spain. And Thailand's just going to get run over, unfortunately, for them. I say the contenders screaming with Overwatch League members, yeah. I don't think the Overwatch League is so far ahead of the pack that you can, like, the top of contenders should be kind of competing, and like when you have Shanghai in the mix as well, Shanghai like throws the average way off, and Florida kind of does the same as well. Otherwise, any other questions? Would you like to be a professional Overwatch League player? Yes, but I'm nowhere near good enough, and I'm too old. Actually, no, to be honest. I don't think that suits me. Like, the grind is real, and it's like you sacrifice, like the Overwatch League players have basically sacrificed 6 months to be Overwatch League players. That is all they do. Did contenders get promoted? No. Did America win? Yes. America won. 3-1. And on the maps that USA won, it looked good. USA look on another level in my mind. So the way it works with contenders is, in theory, at least especially with academy teams. So you have the academy teams. And so the players, like you have the Overwatch League team. And the Overwatch League team has first pick of the academy players. So let's say with FU, if Fusion wanted to pick up a bunch of players from FU, they have first choice. If not, then other teams can then look at it. So they have like right of first refusal, basically. Do you think that Season 2 NYXL will be stronger? Or around or same compared to Season 1? Probably stronger. I would be surprised if not. But yeah, there's like... It's going to be tough, and I think what will happen, what you'll see happen is the Overwatch League teams will be largely incestuous. So they'll sell between each other, and then the new expansion teams will pick up a lot of the contenders' talent. Maybe sprinkled in here and there will be a couple of pickups, but otherwise it's mostly just going to be Overwatch League teams trading with Overwatch League teams. So like I imagine everybody is bidding for Carpe. Like Carpe's probably going to have the highest salary next year. It'll be crazy to me if he doesn't. Are the pro players enjoying the current patch right now with Hammond, Mercy nerfs, and Anabuff? Are there any complaints? There's still complaints that Goats is still strong. Like, people don't like playing Goats and against Goats. Otherwise, yeah, pros seem to kind of like the current meta. Like, it's not the Widow meta where you just get your head blown off. It's not the Tracer meta. There's a lot available. Pros seem pretty happy about what's going on. Geonek or Carpe? Carpe probably is worth more. Geonek's still probably going to be worth a lot, though. But I think Carpe is actually probably going to be the highest salary player. It wouldn't surprise me. I like playing Widow, but I have 35% scope accuracy. Do you think spamming Widow and Cook play is the best way to train? It will certainly help. Yeah. Like, play a lot of Widow. Just the only way you're going to get better at Widow is playing her. And just grind it out. Like, Widowmaker is a grind. And it's a tough grind as well. Because it's like, the moment you stop, you start losing your accuracy. So yeah. Is it worth trying to play Zen in this meta? In ranked? Sure. It's just, you got to understand, like, there will be moments, if the enemy team is playing a high-paced dive, the Zen is going to have less value. And especially if they have a good Sombra, you're going to really have a miserable time. What's a good scoped accuracy for Widowmaker? Weirdly enough, like, you know, if you look at a lot of the pros, they are hitting about 50 to 55%. But I hit 50 to 55%, okay? My scoped accuracy is actually 50 to 55. But my crits are usually like 5 to 6 per round, okay? A pro is hitting 50 to 55 and getting like 15 crits, right? This starts to become more and more important the better you get. So when you start hitting like 45-50%, you need to start working on headshots. Any chance of more female players? Trying to think. Probably not. There aren't that many in contenders. Like, I don't know of any in contenders at the moment that are really leaping out. I hope so. But you got to understand as well, with like getting female players into baby steps, getting female players into esports is a baby steps thing. Like, it will take time, and what needs to happen is, like, Gaguri is a great. The reason why Gaguri is so great is because she is like the first step on a long road. Because people will see Gaguri and go, "Oh, I can do that then," and it also gets more normalized. And like, I imagine Gaguri has to deal with a lot of bullshit. but she's sort of soaking up the bullshit, and then the next time a female player comes in, it should be a little bit smoother. And then as more and more female players, and it might not even be Overwatch. Overwatch might not be the game where this happens, but as more and more female players sort of rise up through the ranks, it becomes more and more normal. It feels more and more standard almost. And it will take time for that to happen, and it's unfortunate that it is, but the realist in me is like, if Overwatch League turned around tomorrow and said, yeah, we have to have a 50-50 gender split, it would be bad for the level of competition, just because there aren't that many female players playing at that level, because they get dissuaded, they get pushed out, the community rejects them. Pro players are like massive nerdy geeks and dorks who will like berate each other and smack talk each other, and if they can smack talk you over anything, they will smack talk you, and so if they can get at you for your gender, they will do so. So it's one of those things of like, I remember hearing this thing about, you know, the way that people will target people is they'll find things that are a little bit out of the ordinary about them, and then they'll start focusing on those. So let's say if you're a man and you don't make a huge amount of money, people go, oh, you're a failure, you don't make any money. Like for me, people could go, oh, you have no viewers, you have no subs, blah, 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 blah. They could insult that angle. If I was a woman, they would just, you know, insult me for being a woman, because that's unusual in the context of video gaming. And so it's sort of how people target you. And it's dealing with that bullshit so regularly. But yeah, it is tough, and it will take time. It will take a lot of time, but it is happening, and it's happening slowly. Like, a million hats off to the StarCraft 2 community, for example, with Scarlet, transgender player, female player, accepted pretty much immediately. No massive dramas occurred around Scarlet, and sure, I'm sure in like the dark corners of the internet, in fact, I'm 100% sure in the dark corners of the internet, people were saying really shitty things, but overall, the community managed to embrace it, and it worked very smoothly. I know like EVA, the community seems to be embracing EVA. I remember meeting EVA in New York, and yeah, it's just something you got to learn to kind of accept, deal with, and just kind of understand that the face of gaming has changed, and should be changed. And yeah, Gaguri, like, has been embraced by the community. I haven't really seen anything too aggressive about Gaguri. The most common thing I see with Gaguri is like, is Gaguri picked up just because she's a woman? Are there better diva players than her? And I think that she is an Overwatch League caliber diva player, or off-tank player in general. So just put that concern to bed. In the annoying thing is that Gaguri gets that criticism levied at her, while other diva players might not quite get that same criticism. Who might be worse, who might be men. And that's sort of what you always got to watch out for. Am I asking this question just because she's a woman? Am I being overly critical just because she's a woman? Like, there's this thing that happens, and just to, like, I'll finish on this point because it's a really, really difficult thing to understand, but people tend to criticize women more and tend to get, like, dogpile on women when they do something. So it's like, there's a great example of a tweet I saw where it's like a male, I think it was like a baseball player, was like shouting at an umpire, and he's like, oh, look at this guy getting aggressive, defending his plays. And then Serena Williams, who shouted at an umpire in tennis very recently, it's like, oh, she's having a hissy fit, and player has meltdown. So while with a male, it's like, oh, he's just, disputing a call, while with a female, it's a meltdown all of a sudden. And it's like this disingenuine nature, and you just have to be aware of that. And I think like the biggest thing is just being aware that this happens, and being aware that it's almost like an unconscious bias that people have. And when you get aware of that, you can start spotting it more, and you can start spotting it when you do it, and then you start sort of unlearning certain behaviors that you might have picked up from elsewhere. It's like the old XKCD comic of like a man solving an equation on a board and he gets it wrong. It's like, man, you suck at maths. And then a woman does it. It's, oh, women suck at maths. It's this thing of like, that sort of stuff happens. And so, yeah. And there we go. All right, then. Thank you for watching. If you stuck through this lengthy outro as well, hats off to you. But otherwise, yeah. More lady players. More women in gaming. God knows I need them. Because I need people who share hobbies with me. Also, there's a really interesting study. Although I know it sounds creepy to say, well, more women in gaming just so I can get laid. No, it's not how it is. More people in gaming is good in general. Study... I can't remember the name of the study, and I don't know how to phrase this in Google. It's like people who abuse women are more likely to be weak male players, are more likely to abuse women than strong male players. So the male players that are good at games tend to be more inclusive and like, oh man, yeah, you're doing really well, good stuff. While the weaker male players feel like they're being pushed out and being replaced by the female players. And so they're the ones that get really, really uppity and really, really aggressive. When you keep that in mind, it makes any criticism levied at women in gaming so much funnier. Right, guys. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Toodles.